Once upon a time, in a small village in Nigeria, there lived a kind man named Emeka. Emeka was not wealthy, but he was blessed with a loving family. He was a skilled craftsman, but he didn't have a workshop of his own. Instead, he worked for others, making beautiful wood carvings and furniture. Emeka's wife, Nkechi, was a talented cook. Every day she prepared delicious meals and sold them at the village market. Emeka and Nkechi had two sons, Chike and Obi, and a cheerful daughter named Ada. They were a happy family, full of laughter and love. Even though they didn't have much, their home was warm and full of joy. Every evening after a long day's work, Emeka would return home tired but content. Nkechi would greet him with a hearty meal, and the children would rush to hug him. They would gather around the table, share stories, and laugh together. Emeka's life was simple, but he found happiness in his family. Emeka had many friends in the village, but they were all wealthier than he was. Over time, these friends began to drift away because Emeka was not as rich as they were. They didn't want to be seen with someone who was poor. Emeka felt sad, but he always reminded himself that his family was what mattered most. One day there was a big festival in the village. Emeka decided to attend, hoping to catch up with his old friends and enjoy the celebration. When he arrived at the festival, he saw his friends laughing, dancing, and eating together. At first, they seemed happy to see him and invited him to join them. Emeka sat down and enjoyed the festivities, but soon after, something happened that made him very sad. One of his friends stood up and said, "Emeka, since you are not as rich as us, you should help clean up after the party." Emeka was shocked. He said, "We are all friends, and I am older than you. Just because I don't have as much money doesn't mean I should do all the work." But his friends laughed and said, "If you don't help clean up, we will tell everyone you didn't pay for your share of the food." Emeka had no choice but to help clean up. He left the festival feeling very sad and embarrassed. When he got home, Nkechi noticed that Emeka was upset and asked, "Emeka, what happened at the festival?" Emeka sighed and replied, "My friends treated me badly because I am not as rich as they are. But it doesn't matter. I will always do my best for you and our children." Despite feeling hurt, Emeka continued to work hard every day. He knew that his family needed him, and he wanted to make sure they had enough to eat and a roof over their heads. He worked on many different crafts, but he never had a workshop of his own. One day, Emeka decided to ask a wealthy man in the village, Chief Olusegun, if he could work on his farm. Chief Olusegun had the largest farm in the village, and Emeka hoped that working for him would help provide better for his family. Early the next morning, Emeka went to Chief Olusegun's house and said, "Good morning, Chief Olusegun. I would like to help with the work on your farm. My sons can help too." Chief Olusegun looked at Emeka and said, "Very well, Emeka. My farm is large, and I need all the help I can get. You and your sons can start tomorrow." The next day, Emeka and his sons woke up before the sun rose and made their way to Chief Olusegun's farm. They worked hard, planting and harvesting crops, even through heavy rain. Day after day, they labored on the farm, their hands rough and their backs aching. But they never complained because they knew their hard work would bring food and happiness to their family. After many days of hard work, the harvest was finally complete. The crops were neatly packed, and Emeka felt a sense of accomplishment. When it was time to get paid, Chief Olusegun handed Emeka a small amount of money and said, "Here is 1/3 of what I owe you. Come back tomorrow for the rest." Emeka was surprised. He took the money and thanked Chief Olusegun. When Emeka returned home, he gave some money to Nkechi and said, "Cook a special meal for the children tonight. They deserve it." That night, as they enjoyed their meal, Nkechi asked Emeka, "Why are you so worried?" Emeka replied, "Chief Olusegun didn't pay me fully. I'm concerned because he has never asked me to come back for the rest of the payment before." Nkechi hugged him and said, "Don't worry, Emeka. You have worked hard, and everything will be fine. Let's enjoy this meal with the children tonight." The next day, Emeka went back to Chief Olusegun's house to collect the remaining payment. As he approached, he saw that Chief Olusegun was waiting for him with a warm smile. "Ah, Emeka, welcome back," Chief Oluskan said. "Come, sit with me. Let us share some food and drink." Emeka hesitated, but sat down. After they ate, Chief Oluskan leaned back and said, "Emeka, you have worked hard all your life. I have a special opportunity for you.
You can become very wealthy, but it requires a small ritual. The choice is yours." Emeka's heart raced. The idea of becoming rich without much work was tempting, but he was also cautious. He asked, "What kind of ritual is this?" Chief Olusegun reached into his robe and pulled out a small bundle of money. "This is a gift, a taste of what you could have. Take your time to decide. There is no rush." Emeka took the bundle with trembling hands and thanked Chief Olusgun. As he walked home, his mind was filled with conflicting thoughts. The money in his hand felt heavy, and the offer weighed heavily on his heart. When he arrived home, Nkechi saw the bundle and asked, "Where did you get all this money?" Emeka explained everything that had happened. Nkechi listened carefully and said, "This offer sounds too good to be true. We have always lived honestly and worked hard for what we have. Be very careful. Easy wealth can bring great trouble." Emeka nodded, understanding her concern. The next day, Emeka made his way to the edge of the village where the ritual was to take place. The path was dark and filled with trees that seemed to whisper secrets. Emeka's heart pounded with each step. When he reached the old man's hut, the old man greeted him with a serious expression. "Emeka, are you ready for the ritual?" the old man asked. Emeka nodded, feeling a mix of fear and anticipation. The old man led him to a clearing with strange symbols drawn on the ground. Emeka was about to find out what the ritual would involve and what price he might have to pay. As the old man began to chant and prepare for the ritual, Emeka's thoughts swirled with doubts and hopes. What would the future hold for him and his family if he followed through with this strange offer? The decision ahead was daunting, and Emeka knew that whatever choice he made would change their lives forever. Emeka stood in the clearing, the air thick with anticipation. The old man's chants echoed through the forest, mingling with the rustling of the leaves. Emeka watched as the old man carefully placed various items on the ground. A bowl of herbs, a piece of cloth, and a small, intricate carving that looked like a figure of a person.
"Emeka," the old man said in a low voice, "the ritual will bring wealth and prosperity, but it comes with a cost. You must be prepared for what lies ahead. Are you sure you want to proceed?" Emeka's heart raced. He thought about his family, about Nkechi, Chike, Obi, and Ada. They had struggled for so long, and the promise of wealth was tempting. But he also remembered Nkechi's words about easy wealth bringing trouble. "I am ready," Emeka said, trying to sound confident. "I want to provide a better life for my family." The old man nodded and began the ritual. He mixed the herbs in the bowl and then dipped the cloth into the mixture. As he chanted louder, the clearing seemed to glow with a soft, mysterious light. Emeka felt a strange sensation, as if the ground beneath him was shifting. The old man motioned for Emeka to step forward and place his hands on the carving. As Emeka touched the carving, he felt a jolt of energy pass through him. The old man's chants grew louder, and the air around them crackled with magic. "You must make a vow," the old man said. "Swear to use the wealth you gain for the good of your family and your village. Swear to never forget where you came from." Emeka, feeling the weight of the moment, said, "I vow to use the wealth for my family and to help others in my village. I will not forget my roots." The old man smiled and nodded. "Then the ritual is complete. The wealth will come to you soon. Remember, Emeka, with great wealth comes great responsibility." With that, the old man packed up his items and disappeared into the forest, leaving Emeka alone in the clearing. The strange light faded, and Emeka felt a heavy silence settle around him. He made his way back home, the bundle of money still clutched in his hand. When Emeka returned, Nkechi was waiting anxiously. She saw the look on his face and asked, "How did it go? What did you decide?"